Hello again, YouTube. How are you doing? So it's my third day at work currently this week. I'm already feeling it. Third day is more than halfway through Amazon working week because we do it in 4 days, 40 hours in 4 days. It's a lot. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. Today I actually want to talk about YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Yeah, it's been quite a journey for me on YouTube. Not specifically on this channel because you can see it's not relatively that old. But I have had channels before. You know, my experience with YouTube, I remember my first memory of ever hearing about it was probably in a 2006 newspaper. Tiny little bit of it in the article. It was probably page 10 or something in the Evening Standard. It's a free newspaper you get in London. And it was just quickly mentioned about how, you know, people can upload videos to YouTube and share their talents and learn things or something like that. It wasn't the way it was described, and also my mum read that article to me, so the way it was described to me and the fact that it was a parent that portrayed it to me, I wasn't that excited about it. I was just like, oh, it's some kind of activity, right? But then I actually started using it as a consumer, mostly for music initially, and it was pre-Vivo days. Do you remember Vivo? And then before Vivo, it was about 2009. Yeah, I started listening to lots of music on it. And then all these comedy channels started popping up. 2009, right? 2010, 2009. Yeah, all these comedy channels started popping up. It was a really silly, fun place to be on, especially for my age at that time. You had people like Niga Higa. You had all kinds of parody channels. You had the Smosh Brothers. You had all kinds of things on there. It was a very fun place to be. And slowly it inspired me to share some creative things on there. And obviously, we are products of our time. So my first channel on YouTube was these kind of, unfortunately, not funny videos. And I tried very hard to be funny, and I was doing it with my friends. We were just like making silly. I remember there was like one Lord of the Rings parody, and at that time no one knew where YouTube would be now, so you weren't really focusing on making something super educational or useful. You were just making jokes, posting it online, and obviously, I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping for views. I didn't get views, but I was posting regardless. Yeah, actually, I've never ever been paid on YouTube. But why do I keep coming back? It's never given me any material things, not views, not money, not fame, nothing like that. But it's still it's something that keeps pulling me back. I think partly because I grew up back in the television days, before YouTube, before the internet. There was a show on TV. I forgot what it was called. There's a very equivalent thing in Russia. In England. You've been framed, something like that, right? And the song goes, I'm just translating it, everywhere I go I take my camera with me. And that kind of always stuck with me, just like the idea of going to places and capturing things on the camera, and you're sharing the world from your POV, right? The way you capture it is how you view it, and nobody else does, like where you choose to put the camera. So yeah, it was a prank show, and then I always loved the idea of having a camera. And then finally I got my first camera for my first YouTube channel, which I used with my friends. It was terrible because the microphone on it was absolutely terrible. I tried to do some talking head videos, and even though that camera was about 2-3 feet away from, about 5 feet away from me, you could barely hear what I was talking about. So I had to depend on visual things and music a lot. Yeah, and I also learned that sound is actually way more important than visuals. That's why right now I'm very comfortable simply filming things like this on my iPhone. And I know that in the car, and actually somebody commented yesterday, in the car, the audio is brilliant. I know you can hear me, and that is way more important than what the video looks like. Visuals do come into it, and then obviously if your visuals are striking, it's a major bonus. But if you're just sharing your opinion, if you're teaching things to people, microphone is a great thing. So actually back in that day, the most visually interesting video that I made was very inspired on my film studies class. So I was taking film studies in school, and we were talking about camera angles and the way you move your camera side to side and slow pans up and slow pans down. All that kind of stuff inspired me to make a silly little scripted video called The Facebook Date. Again, a product of its time, meeting somebody strange on Facebook, and then it turned out to be a completely different person, right? And it didn't get that many views, obviously, as all of my videos didn't. But I was proud of it because it looked like I put in effort into it. You know, there was lots of cuts, there was lots of music, everything was cut on time, there was lots of camera angles, and also my friend and I had a ton of fun with it, and it got about 500 views. Now, ironically, the one that did get the most views is the one that also got the most hate. I made a silly video about how to talk like a Russian. Unfortunately, lots of Russians found my video and they didn't have the same sense of humor as I did, and they gave it lots of dislikes. And in those days on YouTube, you could see dislikes and likes side by side, whereas now you can only see likes, which is debatable if it's good or not. But clearly it stuck around, so a lot of people thought it was good. Then there was a big period of no YouTube in my life, just consuming, and then slowly YouTube was changing, the pranks were gone, the low quality videos were starting to go away. There was more and more professional content, and even the people that were originally doing silly videos, they slowly upgraded their cameras, they had like, you know, good lighting, and it's like, I thought, and this is already during my university days, and I thought, A, I have no time, B, I have no such team of people around me to do this, and 3, I have no equipment to start doing silly pranks. So I just kind of stayed away from YouTube. I watched it, but I didn't make anything, and I regret it now, because university days is, you know, my life in Cambridge at that time, spending 4 years there, cycling around places and having all that free time would have been an amazing opportunity to get into YouTube. So I think if you're watching this by any chance, if you're in university, there's always going to be room for a university student perspective on YouTube. So if somebody's studying in college, or if you want to say it, if you're in America, if you're studying there, people always want to see life from the perspective of a student. I think there's room for that. And if you make use of your time, you'll do your studies, don't worry, you'll get good grades. You make good use of your time rather than drinking and party, and make some videos, you will not regret it. And then, yeah, when I finally got back into YouTube, it was in China. I initially started a music making channel, and I had great fun with that. I kind of combined 2 of my interests together, making music and making videos. It was very time consuming, though I do love both of these. It was extremely time consuming. Making music is already a massive task in itself, because I'm kind of a perfectionist, so if I'm making a beat or a track, it will take me a week, and even after a week I'm still not pleased with it, but I just kind of have to make myself upload it. And then obviously making a video can take up to 2 days as well, and that's not even the best quality you can give it. That's like mid, at least to my standards. So I quickly switched to Instagram, where it would be, that was before Reels, just before Reels. I just missed Reels, and it was about 1 minute long videos. So I did the beat making videos there on Instagram and kind of put YouTube to the side. But that was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed making music. I wish I could go back into it. Like I said, I do think you need way more time on your hands to do that, though. And the promotion side of it as well. Like, I was in it to make money, right? And if you want to put time into production, put time into the quality, put time into promoting your channel, I know I'm just making excuses, but really you're like a one-man company, and you should have either no sleep and be crushing it Gary Vaynerchuk style, or just kind of you should be having no full-time job, maybe. So that got stopped as well. But I really, I'm happy that I did it. It was an amazing, I can always look back at them and enjoy them. Honestly, I enjoy watching those videos of making music. And if I ever have time again, I would do it again, honestly. Even if it's just for fun. It's a great combination. If you can find that combination of your interests, not just one thing, even if it's just, if you can really find what you like and do it, it's an amazing feeling. And upload it and share it with people and get some good feedback. The community, the music community, both on Instagram and YouTube, was amazing. You know, you get lots of hate with some other topics and criticism and all that stuff, especially if you get into like politics, which I always stay out of, publicly anyway. But, you know, art, people are very supportive of each other in the art world. Then we're coming onto this channel now, and you can still see those videos. It's me sharing my life basically in China. Not super focused. I talk a little bit about teaching, I talk a little bit about the expat experience, I travel to different places, so it's not a major focus, but that is, up till now, the most successful time I've ever had with YouTube. I could see a real momentum, and then I had to move to England, and then I had no time on my hands as much as I did in China, and B, I thought, well, my channel was growing because basically I was in China, so I got those kind of subscribers to me to watch that content. So if I'm making that in England, I'll lose them because that's not what they signed up for. And then now we come to this point where I essentially say, I don't care. Every time I see somebody unsubscribe to the current content, I'm like, good, because I only want to see the true watchers. I only want to make sure that the people that are subscribed to my channel are actually the ones who are watching it. So it's kind of like a cleansing of people. So I want to give it kind of a reboot. I do enjoy having the platform already, the little platform that I have, which you know, we grew to 1,000 subscribers. Probably most of the people are not there anymore, or not watching it, but we did grow a little base of subscribers, and I thought, let me just stick with this channel. People already know me. Some people keep messaging me about making videos again, so I thought, let's not make another whole new channel where people can't find me. Let me just update my life on this one. And yeah, I just keep coming back to YouTube. You know, it's been a 2 years break since the China content, and some of the stuff that's happened between the time frame I wish I shared, because I've been to very beautiful places. I've had some interesting times. For example, I went to Scotland, and that was a very beautiful trip that I could have shared if I bothered to. On the one hand, and on the other hand, it was a holiday with just my partner, my wife, so it was good to just kind of relax and not worry about anything. But I did take pictures, I did take videos, I just wasn't sharing them. Yeah, and here we go now. I wish, you know, YouTube could eventually give back to me in a more material way. I won't beat around the bush. I hope YouTube eventually pays me something. If it doesn't, though, clearly I'll still be here, because, as I said, my first experience with YouTube was 15 years ago. Am I counting that right? Am I counting? 14 years ago. And here I am back again without ever making a penny from it. So clearly something is pulling me back. And what is it? I just love the platform, to be honest. I love the platform. I've learned a lot from it now. You know, since all the silly stuff has gone, you can learn a lot from other people on YouTube, other people's perspectives. And I feel like I have something to give back. I have something to impart on the society, some stories to tell, some interesting perspectives, some good opinions, and share my POV with my iPhone camera. So travel to beautiful places. I live in a beautiful place, and if I can share that with people, give some people value, some entertainment, or just a reason to sit down and have some coffee and have something projecting at their eyes, then why not? That's already a success. I hope you'll stick with me for the journey. If you like this video, give it a like. Let me know what your thoughts on YouTube are. How long have you been on the platform? What do you use it mostly for? And do you like it? Do you love it? Thank you. Bye-bye.